Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Night Raven podcast. I know it's been quite a while, probably months and months, but and I'm sorry, guys, that I didn't have any episodes for a while, but life was lifing and I was trying to catch up. Now, in the last few weeks, I've been thinking to myself, I really need to get back into the habit of doing podcasts and doing things that I really love and enjoy. And then out of nowhere comes the beautiful Alicia Salinas and wonders if she can do an episode or like something on the podcast. So that was the perfect way to get back into it. So thank you, Alicia, for pushing me back into what I really should be doing. And I promise everybody it's going to get better. I want to get back on track, recording more, um, on a regular basis. So today I have the beautiful Alicia with me. I've known her for a long time, and Alicia is one of the most amazing people that I know. She's kind and gracious and generous and just such a good person. And I'm just so glad that she's on the podcast today. I'm going to let her introduce herself. I want to make sure that I don't leave anything out. Um, the topic today is actually going to be about water. And I know you may think, well, what's there to talk about when it comes to water? But I am pretty sure that Alicia is going to give us the details on how important and how powerful water really is. But first, I want to let her introduce herself. But welcome, Alicia.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yes, so like Bettina said, we've known each other for a while, and I'm so honored to be on her podcast today. I am a Reiki master, and I learned the Akashic records from Bettina. And I also do tarot, but also I'm just like fascinated with anything metaphysical. And I feel like we as people, we're all students in this thing called life in the universe, which universe could be short for university if you think about it. Um, but yes, I would love to talk about water. I would love to talk about, I know you did go to Mexico. Were you able to see any of the cenotes when you went?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I swam in them. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. Okay. And I think for me, I think I had several different spiritual awakenings. And when I went to Mexico for the first time and I went into a cenote, I'm trying to tell you, I can't even describe what it was like. It was just an overwhelming feeling of, I've been here before. Um, I don't know. And I think it had to do with the water. So that's kind of my segue into the water. Just to talk kind of about, even in the United States, there's all these different places that have healing natural waters. Like in Arkansas, there's hot springs. And in New Mexico,
It's
there's,
true.
I think it's Ojo Caliente. In Arizona, there's different places, New York. And I would love to go to any of these places and try it out for myself. But as far as Hot Springs, Arkansas, I know even centuries back, the Native Americans used it as healing. And now
Mhm.
there's like natural springs that they have built saunas and like retreats around these natural hot springs in Arkansas. And I would love to go see them. And I feel like they've always been there, they've always been used for healing. Um, and then also, so when I went into this cenote and I had this whole feeling when I got back home from Mexico, I started like looking into water and I found it to be so fascinating how many ancient water gods there were in different cultures. So like there was
Wow.
an Aztec water god, there was a Mayan water god, there was a Norse water god, um, an Egyptian water god, um, and all of them honored the water, and with water, they, used it at their will. They used it to destroy, or they used it to build back up. And also,
Wow.
what was so fascinating, a lot of the myths talk about how there are different creatures or different beings born in the water. So I found
Well,
that
when
pretty
you think
fascinating.
about it, not that I want to interrupt, but when you think about
No,
it,
go
like
ahead.
our life starts in water. We're in the womb. We're in water, and life
Yes,
cannot exist without water. Even on other planets, if there's no water, there's no life. So water is life.
exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. And so also looking into it, come to find out the moon and water have a special relationship, like the moon affects the tides. And
Mm-hmm.
reading tarot, the moon and water are very similar. And I feel like
Oh,
maybe the only difference maybe is the moon would be like hidden emotions, and like the suit of cups is all about, dealing with your emotions, or just depending on what other cards are pulled, but a lot about emotions. So
yeah.
emotions and water and moon.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, whether we cry because of sadness or we cry because of like we're happy, it's always tears. It's water that comes out of our bodies. So yeah, that would make sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, and then also as far as drinking water,
Oh yeah.
because our body is about 60% water. Um, when we drink water, I think it's super important to make sure to drink the correct water. And I know you're thinking, how can water not be correct? But when water is bottled, the plastics leach into the water. And not only that, when we get that bottled water, that water is now dead. Um, and so I have this machine. It puts the alkaline balance back into the water,
Hmm.
and it also puts minerals back into the water. Um, so I just think it's really important to drink the correct waters to actually hydrate our body. And when you
Yeah.
drink water that has been alkaline balanced, your body can just absorb it and it does not go through your digestive system.
That is so
And
interesting. I've heard of that machines before. I think a lot of people have that, but it's quite pricey, so haven't been able to
it's
really.
very pricey.
Yes.
But and you can see the actual difference, because if you mix, like, there's powdered drinks, or to mix anything into
Yeah.
water, when you do it from the machine, you can see you barely have to stir. It absorbs into the water so
Really.
quickly. Yes, and that just lets me know that when I drink the water, anything that I put in there is going to be absorbed.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Have you
So
ever? Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Have you ever seen that documentary on any either YouTube or maybe the Gaia TV channel where they prove that when you talk to water in a positive way, it forms all these beautiful crystals, and when you talk to it in a negative way, it kind of like has these deformities almost. And then when you
That's
say, "Go ahead,"
I was gonna say that's so funny that you bring that up, because
there you go. Hidden
what you're
messages of
talking
water.
about,
Hmm.
yes, what you're talking about was found by a Japanese scientist, and he put all of exactly what you're saying into this book. He did experiments, and he would say loving words of affirmation to the water and then freeze it. And then when you see the crystallization, it was beautiful, like a beautiful crystallization. And then when he would say nasty words, or like I hate you, to the water and then freeze it, and then the crystallizations, like you were saying, they were deformed.
Hmm.
And um so it's just
Yeah.
so funny. And that's a whole nother point that I was going to talk about,
Oh
is
yeah.
that it has been proven through this Japanese scientist that water holds memory.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and so it's so funny because in the animated movie Frozen 2,
Hmm.
they say that. They say the water holds memory. And then
Wow.
this Japanese scientist was actually able to prove it.
Wow.
And and so after that, I kind of developed a when I take a shower, I always give thanks to the water and I want it to
Oh,
remember me.
that is beautiful.
Yes,
That
and
is beautiful.
I also wanted to say another segue. I'm so sorry, I talk forever.
No,
Um,
no, no. This is what we do on a podcast. Sometimes we go down rabbit holes, but that's what we're here for, you know? So, no, go for it.
another segue about speaking to the water while I take a shower is in spiritual practices, you can use water to cleanse. You
Mm-hmm.
can use it to clear. You can use it to also just clean your body. That's not really, that's whatever, but
Yeah.
really to talk about clearing and cleansing, and how people do water. Is it water bath? Like spiritual water baths? Do you know what I mean? Like where you float
No.
on a device in the water and there's like sound bowls.
Oh,
Some
yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know the correct term, but I know what you mean. Yes. Hmm.
I would love to do one of those. I would love to find these natural like healing waters. I have a whole list of
Yeah.
things that I would love to do.
I think there
Um,
is actually, I don't know what it's called, and I used to know at some point, but I think there is something here in Kansas City that does that, where you float in the
yes.
water. It's kind of like a sensory deprivation tank, what they call it, where you like
Mm,
float on water, but it is a spiritual experience.
yes,
And there
there's
is one here in
that.
Kansas City. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure if we Google, maybe I should Google right now and just see if we can come up with that. Water.
Yes.
It's called Overland Park Flow Therapy. I mean, I don't want to,
Ooh.
give them like free advertisement, but here we are. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that it is good for you, right?
It's
And
good for you and it's something that's offered.
exactly. So it's a different experience, and I would highly recommend it. I've never done it, but I know exactly what it is all about. And if you feel like you need something in your life to kind of like get you away besides just regular meditation, there are things like that out there that you can do.
Yes, I think it would be incredibly grounding. I think it can help clear some things that you've been having problems like trying to get rid of. I think I think it would be a beautiful experience.
Yeah, why don't we just like make a plan and you and I will go. Maybe we can get a whole group together. And by the way, this is water here, so I'm going to hydrate here.
Yes,
Maybe we should
absolutely.
a group of people together and we'll just go and then we'll come back to a podcast and talk about what it's like or what it was like.
Follow up, a follow up
Yes,
podcast.
follow up. We
Here's
love a follow up.
yes, here's our experience. Yes, love it. Um,
Good. I'll make a
what
note.
else?
But when you said about the messages, the book that you just held up, I
Hmm.
was wondering if maybe he says it in there about my thought is this, and I've heard this before. This was not my original thought, unfortunately, but when you think about that, our bodies are made at least of 60% water, and water responds to negative or positive, affirmations. How can we as a human being not be affected by how people treat us? How what people say to
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely. And it also makes you think about, when someone says something to you or does something to you and you hold on to it, where in your body, right, does it stay there?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes,
Um
yes. I guess that goes into like the whole emotion code thing too, but that's a whole nother podcast episode.
yeah. And I also wanted to say there are things that anybody can do to use water to help them. Like on the full moon, if you would want to take water, and it's best to do it in a glass container. If you would want to fill a container up with water and take it out on a full moon and let it sit out in the moon and let the moon charge it, you can then use that water to help you heal or to help call in, whatever you are looking for, whether that be abundance, prosperity, luck, whatever you're trying to call in for you. That's an excellent use of water, is to charge it on a full moon. um, so that is a
Yeah,
practice that anybody
you
can
know,
do.
yeah. Now that you said that, I remember the first time when I came back. I mean, I feel like I've always been in the spiritual world, kind of, but not as much as I am now. Maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I can't remember. But the first time I did made moon water, I, put water in a 2-liter bottle and I put it outside under the full moon. And I kid you not, this water was fresh for years. I mean, I eventually dumped it out because I'm like, this can't be right, but it was clear and fresh. And I mean, it's like, I mean, it's crazy. It was wild.
Yes, I love
So yeah.
all the benefits of water. um and I do also know that you can make your own Florida water. There's like recipes to make your own Florida water, or you can buy it already pre-made. I know a lot of different shops sell Florida water, which is another type of water to use in your daily
So
whatever
for
you're.
people who don't know what Florida water is, yeah, for people who don't know what Florida water is, can you quickly like explain it a tiny bit, just the basics of what that is?
So if you make it yourself, there's a lot of herbs you put into it, into like a water, and I would say a glass container as well, water, and then a lot of different herbs. I would have to look up the specific recipe for, um, but I have seen it with a lot of herbs, and I like it that way because if you buy it, if you order it, you can order it online even, but it's just like a jar of water, and Florida water would just be like charged water, or water that is used for specifically spell work or manifestation work, or whatever your use is for that water. It's just a very um, charged water, would be Florida water.
Yeah, so Florida, I mean, I don't know the exact details either. I mean, everybody has their own recipe. I
Hmm.
just know people talk about Florida water a lot. It's like, hey, I got Florida water, and do you need Florida water? And it's not like water from Florida. It's just called that way for whatever reason. But I think that in the community we use it to kind of like neutralize negative energies. We spray it around each other. We spray it around our booth when we're at a fair, just to keep the space clean and charged with positive energy. So that's kind of what it is. Don't you? Do you agree? Or
Absolutely. I think it repels negative energy and helps clear it out and helps keep it clear. Absolutely.
good, good. Yeah. And so you said you went to the cenotes when you first like experienced the water. Um, but I think that you were always connected to water somehow. It's just kind of not, maybe was not in your awareness right away. I feel like that you've always had that connection with water.
I definitely agree. Agree. So my nickname when I was a little girl, they would call me Fish, just because I loved being in the water.
Wow.
So yeah, I agree. I've always had a connection to water, and I didn't maybe realize, until much later.
It takes a while for us, or for human beings or our soul, to kind of grow into that stage where we can actually comprehend or remember who we really are on a soul level, and where we came from, what our mission is. I mean, there are breadcrumbs along the way. They've all been there. It's just that it takes a moment for us to really realize who we are, and to have this spiritual awakening, and then really fully integrate ourselves into that, into our mission, so to speak.
Agree, for sure, 1000%. Um, well, I think I went over all of the topics that I wanted to about water. Also, I know I talked about taking a shower and saying thank you, but I also like to meditate while I'm in the shower quickly too. So I always say thank you to the water, and then I like to do like a quick meditation, and that always makes me have such a better day. Um, and also, whenever I do a Reiki session with a client, I always advise to drink water and also to take a shower to help release
Hmm.
anything lingering. So I just think showers are so beneficial, not only physically but spiritually as well. I think, baths and showers are just so beneficial to help
Oh yeah.
release. Um
Oh yeah.
but then
People say that when you're, yeah, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
People say that when you're feeling off or down, usually a salt bath helps. It's not just like, I mean, it does have some properties. It really helps to remove some unwanted energies, so it's water, and salt is also, it could be a whole nother topic. Salt could be a whole nother episode, because there's just so many benefits in all these natural things that are around us that we kind of forgotten about. And it's really a good thing, to bring it all back into the awareness of people.
Yes. I remember my dad would take like Epsom salt baths, and it would just ease the muscles and ease, like had chronic back pain. Um, so yeah, actually physically healing with the salt water too.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that a lot of my belief is, whoever knows me really well knows that I'm very into like, organics, or into like the herbal remedies and things like that. And it's just, they were the original medicine, and then we kind of got turned away from all of that. And I don't think it made us healthier; it made us sicker. To rely on all these chemical things. And now it's like, well, why don't we go back to all of that? And I think it's about time that we do it. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor when you have a broken arm or whatnot, but I really think that Mother Nature is here to heal us in every way, shape, or form. And again, without water, we would not be alive on this planet. And it's time for us, I feel like it's time for us to go back to, what's really good for us and what's healing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 1000% in agreement with everything that you said. Um, and I think so. The closing part of my whole water um, rabbit hole is
Mm-hmm.
I heard a theory which kind of blew my mind for a couple of days, and the theory was, what if God is water?
Oh my God.
Because they said that, we're made in God's image, and our body is our vessel which holds water. Um and so our body is just the vessel, but if we were made in the image, then whatever holds the water, you know what I mean? But also
It's like the
just life
chalice,
came from water.
the chalice, yeah, in church.
Yes. But yeah, I thought that was such a fascinating rabbit hole as well, that what if God is water?
That is something to think about. That is a big one. That's a big cliffhanger, Alicia. It's a big cliffhanger to think about. But you know what? I encourage everybody out there to think about this. What if? I mean, we don't know, but what if? Like I said, we're created in water, literally in the womb. And what if? We don't know for sure until we go back to source, and find out. And maybe God is everything, and
Yes.
I mean, but the point is for everybody to think about this, and for everybody to feel like they need to make not they need to make, but they should make decision that helps them heal and not just like physically, but also emotionally. Because the whole body or the whole human being is not just like physical healing, it's mind, body, and spirit. And so I feel like the more we let in with those natural things that earth gives us, the better off we are. And I really would encourage everybody to look into those things and get back to, what makes us healthy or what keeps us healthy, what keeps us going. Alicia, you said you are a Reiki master
Hmm.
and you also read the Akashic Records. Do you have a contact information where people can contact you or an email or something that you would like to?
So yes, I have an Instagram. I think it's Ology. It's Ology. Ology. I picked that because like I said at the beginning, I think we're all students of life, and
Mhm.
ology is the study of. So, so it's Ology. I think it's 888 on Instagram, and then I think it's just Ology on Facebook or something like. I can maybe add it later or send it to you later. I don't
Yeah.
know how to get a hold of me. Um, but yeah.
Well, let's see. Ology. I mean, not a lot of people have that
Here.
name, so you will probably find her. But her name is Alicia
Yeah.
Salinas,
Mm-hmm.
and you can probably find her on Facebook. Ology 888 on Instagram. Um, so if you want a Reiki session, if you meet Alicia, you will find out that she's one of the kindest souls you will ever meet. Um, she's a beautiful, beautiful Reiki master. If she knows about water, she will probably be able to hook you up and give you some advice or some guidance. So if you want to have a session with her, even she was one of my students too. She's an Akashic record reader. She's really good at this. I mean, she's one of my star students. So if you want to hit her up with either a reading or a Reiki session, or when I talk about water, just get a hold of Alicia.
Yeah, I'm so
Alicia,
sorry.
no,
So
you're
it's
fine.
Ology. It's Ology by Alicia on Instagram.
Let's change it.
Thank you.
Ology by, is it one word?
Yep. Yes, perfect.
Perfect. So you can get her on Instagram. Ology by Alicia on Instagram. You can look her up or contact her through the Instagram. And thank you for tuning in. Alicia, is there anything else that you want people to know? Any parting words, any encouragement, words of affirmation, anything you want to give?
I just encourage everyone to spend time with water. I think it's such a calming and release. I think you'll feel a release when you let it. I think just spend time with water. That's what I feel like. And thank you for
It's good
having me.
advice.
Thank you so much.
Hey, we'll do a follow up if we ever get together and go to that tank. We'll do a follow up. So it probably won't be the last time that you're on here. But thank you so much for making time on a Sunday and to tuning in. And for everybody else out there, I'll be back soon. I promise I will do better. So, but have a nice Sunday or whenever you're going to watch this. Um, hang in there, people. We love you all. Bye bye.
Bye.